Oh God. Oh God. oh ah. What up, Suns fans? We are back. What up, Suns fans? The Suns get a 102. What? A 125 win against the LA Clippers, moving to a 4-1 record. We'll talk about it all and more in just a second.
Kevin Durant delivers.
Gorgeous move from Bradley Beal.
Personally, I feel like that brother needed help.
Devin Booker with the clutch three.
uh, that was just a little something for the Halloween spirits, as I'm sure most of us Suns fans were scared of tonight. Just mostly how the Suns came out and played tonight. We'll get all into that and more in just a second. A couple of room cleaning things. Uh, wow, what a game! Okay, first of all, Kyle cannot make it. Second of all, uh, so I'll just be doing it on my own here. Second thing to mention, Happy Halloween! It's Halloween. Pretty awesome. I got a New Jersey, so pretty sick. I believe that's everything out of the way. But Suns get the win out just of a scary night. Like legitimately, I you if you watch the broadcast tonight and um just generally watch this game for the first half, you're pretty scared. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you skipped this game because you were out enjoying the holiday, well, I could summarize it here for you. The Clippers got out on a crazy run. The Clippers are currently on a back to back as of tonight. Um, they faced the Trailblazers the night before in the Inuit Dome, and they lost. So tonight was a reason they should win. You know, no one wants to lose twice, both on your new and expensive arena. So there was a reason, and for the Clippers to kind of come out and fight here. Sorry, I'm messing around with stuff. I had to set up a lot of things for that blackout bit. But Clippers, they had to fight for this one, and just like the first game, our season opener, me and Kyle talked about how the Clippers really needed to come out as they are shorthanded. They don't have Kawhi Leonard to start the season, so they're very nippy. Is the word I would use to describe it as, because they kind of have to after losing George Paul, or not George Paul, Paul George. So they're kind of forced to play up at a upper level. That's just how competition is. And also, like, as we go on into this, like, we're 5 games into the season now. So Clippers just also have a really good defense. That part I didn't expect. Um, but yeah, Clippers came out once again, and they were honestly ruining us. That first half was really bad. By the end of the first quarter, it was a 17-point lead. The Suns, who got multiple days of rest after our last Lakers win, um, they just looked unenergized. They looked lackluster. They didn't have it all together. And it was clear to everyone watching that the Suns just didn't look like they were all there in the first half. They picked it up in the second quarter, but still, near the end, Clippers kind of dominated once again. Went back to their pick and roll, which killed us all night long. So at the end of the half, down 18. Reportedly, Bud was very angry with our whole team, which good. I love that. I even though they didn't show that much of it, I watched it on the Suns broadcast, local broadcast. Uh they didn't show a shot of Bud getting angry. I just kind of heard via the commentators. But honestly, you gotta love that. You love Bud getting after them because they just really didn't have any sparks tonight. Um, Beal, I have a Bill jersey on right now. Beal didn't start out. Was Bill was injured tonight. He played Lakers, I believe. My memory's a little foggy. It's been a while since we done this. So Beal didn't play tonight. So Ryan Dunn got his second start. I don't think he's started yet for the season. I might be wrong on that. Uh, but Dunn was amazing. Let's talk about Dunn for a second. Okay, we have a viewer in here, and he commented, "Let's go Dunn," and I'm right there with you, man. Dunn was amazing. He, oh, it's just amazing having just a top prospect in the valley once again. I say once again, like I was there for our previous rookies. I'm not. I wasn't there. I became a Suns fan. This is my second year just watching Suns basketball. But wow, it's just the potential that Dunn carries with him and the confidence that he carries with himself. Dunn is truly shaping to be like not only the steal of a draft, but also just like yeah, just so much expectations for the guy. For a guy that, only shot 7 threes in his whole college career and was made mostly for his defensive prowess, came to the Suns, low expectations. Well, except for the defense. But it's just expectations on trying to fix that 3-point shot, and they were falling tonight. Dunn ended the night with 3 and 4 from the 3-point line. Those four were all consecutive. He started out kind of cold, uh, shot two. They didn't go in, they kind of bounced out. But after that, he just found his rhythm from the corner and he kept absolutely launching them from three. So it is a 16-point effort from Ryan Dunn. I think it was the Dallas game. Was it the Dallas game that he started? Um, I think it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I, I, I it's kind of crazy because we haven't done this show in like a while. I attended that Mavs games. If you've been watching this channel, you I there's been shorts I've made about um, going to the game and the Lakers game, which were all both amazing to watch. Me and Kyle went there to go support the Suns. They were amazing. Usually I'm taking notes during the games, but I just kind of wanted to enjoy those moments, even though I still make content from them. Um, so I apologize for my kind of pit of knowledge, as I don't really remember that much for those games. But I'm pretty sure Ryan Dunn started that game. But just another another reason to like Dunn. Everyone likes Dunn. All right, 16-point effort, locked James Harden up. Welcome to the dungeon, James Harden. You will be joining Luca and LeBron James. Just amazing effort from him. I kind of lost track near the end of the fourth quarter because I was just so hyped for this team. Um, but I believe up until the third quarter, I'm looking at my notes. I believe somewhere in the third quarter, um, whenever Dunn was guarding Harden and Harden went up to take a three, he never made one. When Ryan Dunn was on James Harden, defending his three. Harden never made a three, which is crazy. It's just awesome. And the one time that Dunn had to go sit out and they switched Royce O'Neal, which we'll talk about later, but when they kind of switched in Royce O'Neal, Harden made two threes, and then they later on they put Dunn back on to Harden. No threes. It is crazy how much potential this kid has. And I don't blame the Suns fans at all for overhyping him. He has truly been delivering, and hopefully the sky's the limit for this guy. He had 5 fouls tonight, which okay. Guarding Harden is a little bit of a challenge in that department. He had a couple of how you say fouls, a little foul baiting there at the end. So Dunn did his job, guarded Harden very well. Now, if you still haven't watched this game, and I've gone on about how the first half was completely terrible, no energy, we are getting out rebounded, out hustled, and outshot on all fronts. It was terrible for what was supposed to be a tired Clippers team and a fully rested Suns team with a lot of depth. Let's be honest, this Suns team is the first team I could confidently say in a while has depth, which is amazing to say. It's refreshing to say after these rough couple of years. Um, but Clippers, I think around the halftime mark, it really started to settle into them as they ran out of gas. They hit the ground hard in the energy department. So by halftime, they were leading in pretty much everything, in any stat you can name of. It was really bad out there. Um, like field goal percentage, 3-pointer percentage, rebounds, offensive rebounds, defensive rebound or offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. It was crazy. Points in the paint, fast breaks, and funny enough, fouls. Um, it was bad. But around the third quarter mark, things started to turn as Book and KD came out determined. They came out of that break determined. Book himself. I can't believe I haven't been mentioned this. My brain is so scattered. Um, Book has a 40-point night. I didn't even notice. Book has a 40 piece, a 40 burger. I didn't expect that from him tonight. I know a lot of Suns fans lately have been questioning him as, they still think he's in Paris, with him playing the whole role player part and just like genuinely trying to get the win every night, doing whatever the team needs for that final push over the finish line. But I didn't even notice Book has a 40-point night. And that's most of the credit here is because of that third quarter. Book just led the team. It was amazing. It looked like Book was Book again. He was swishing buckets. Kind of during the first half, he did come out pretty hot from the first half, but he didn't really get that much chances at shots, and he kind of got most of his points from fouls, which he was getting a lot of foul calls. Not enough, if you ask me, depending on some of those calls in the fourth when things got a little nippy again. Well, a little close again. But Booker just came out along with KD. All right, Booker KD led the team in the third quarter, I should say. And I wasn't paying attention to the stats, but apparently they were 15 and 15 from the field goal. They just did not miss at all during the third quarter. They actually only missed 4 field goals at the end of it. 40-point 40-point quarter which is exactly what the Suns needed to get back into this game. By the end of the fourth, the Clippers just barely had a 2 point lead, but it was obvious the pendulum has swung and it is Suns' ball. And they delivered in the fourth, dropping 34 to seal this win. Amazing comeback. I don't know how to describe it. This team. This team is just awesome right now. They fight back. They get back in the game. They know what needs to be done. Sure, it's frustrating to see these types, the way they just come out sometimes. You'd prefer that they just dominate from the get go. But you just got to admire how this team fights back. They've done it multiple times this season. The Laker game, that was amazing effort. We got absolutely, absolutely blasted in the first half. Funny enough, um, actually, I think we did come back slightly at halftime. We were up by like two or something, but they did what needed to be done in that second half, handing the Lakers their first loss of the season. It's just amazing what the Suns team is now able to do, and a drastic change from last year and the fourth quarter collapse. Yeah, if you watched this show last year, you would have seen how much fourth quarters were just terrible for the Suns. But right now, the Suns are playing amazingly. They're fighting back, and that's what you love to see. Amazing effort from KD, who had uh, 18. Well, actually, I take that back a little. KD had a rough night. Clippers, just in general, were roughhousing KD the whole half, the whole first half, I should say. Um, Basically, that was most of the Clippers off defense during the first half. Just double teams after double teams. KD was getting hounded. It's like you just threw some meat in front of a pack of dogs. They just were hounding him, and it was rough. But finally, in the second half, the Clippers ran out of energy. It looked like they were statues out there. That's how different the first half was from the second half. They're playing like statues out there. As KD finally got the space and he started swishing a couple with Booker, and they led that amazing third quarter, right? Just amazing effort from the both of them. And of course, uh, speaking about other Suns players here, Royce O'Neal, amazing. Royce O'Neal hasn't been getting the credit he deserves, but I think people are still now starting. They're getting to recognize it. Oh, oops. They're getting to recognize it a little more about how special Royce O'Neal is, as he leads the Sun currently in plus minus off and on the court. So pretty much every time Royce O'Neal comes onto this team, uh, comes into the lineup, the Suns immediate positive. Although tonight he is a -7, which is strange because he had an amazing game today. He was 7 of 8 from the field and 5 of 6 from 3 point. Amazing, 21 points off the bench. Oof. Royce O'Neal, man, he's just an incredible bench piece on here. He plays hard on defense, and I love it on nights like this where he just goes off from three. That's just kind of what we. That's kind of what Royce O'Neal does, and I love to see more of it. Royce O'Neal, have yourself a night. Plumlee also got a little bit of action tonight, and I should clarify something. If you watched our preseason shows, um, I wasn't that high on Plumlee. Plumlee just kind of looked off. He didn't look like what, just kind of like what, how do you say it? Like casters, like there's ESPN guys I brought it up a while ago where they're saying like Mason Plumlee is an amazing pickup for the Suns. Like they're probably his most important piece and probably going to win the Suns a championship. They didn't exactly say it that way, but it was kind of similar. Let's say that Plumlee was a major piece, and I didn't really get it. Now I kind of get it. Plumlee has definitely been showing a lot of himself and way better of a backup center than Drew Eubanks. Oh, I I hate to mention that name again. Uh, Roy, just Mason Plumley, great. I mean, he had an all right night today, but I see why he's on the team now. It's made me realize the last couple of games he's had just makes me realize, oh, that's why he's on the team, and it's amazing. I'm completely fine having Mason Plumley as a uh, backing center. Although he was 2 of 7 from the field, he got six cobbled together, 6 rebounds, had a steal, had a block, 2 turnovers, 8 points. Just a zero on the plus and minus. Um, but that kind of explains the whole Mason Plumley tonight for you. He had some good, he had some bad. Just an overall, um, just shaky. You know, Middleton. You know, as you would say. Also got some minutes tonight because things were pretty bad for a second. You'll see what I'm talking about. But also, Iguodaro got a couple minutes, which we haven't seen from him in a while. Uh, he played fine, but like Zubac, he was matched up against Zubac. Yeah, Oso, I like what Oso does. Um, just like Ryan Dunn, just is energy off the bench. He fights, he scrambles, he makes effort, he gives effort on every play. And I appreciate that from him, and I'm appreciative that he's willing to go out there and still give it everything he's got. And I did say during the preseason that like Oso just might overtake Plumlee for the backup center. Yeah, I retract that. I'll admit that was a little me getting overzealous on Oso. Um I definitely see why he's the third string center nowadays. Um but he got a rebound, personal foul. He was all right out on the field. It's just nice to see him again, see him out there, stretch those legs. Not that much. Other than that, those main guys like Royce O'Neal, Plumlee, not much effort from the bench. Monte Morris only came in for 3 minutes because this was Tyus Jones's game, and I kind of Kyle said something. Kyle's the other guy I usually do this with, and he usually wasn't that high on Monte Morris, and I generally think most people aren't that high on Monte Morris, mostly because Tyus Jones takes all the minutes. You know, he's the backup point guard, but Tyus Jones does like such a great job at what he does. There's just he kind of outshines Monte Morris, and yeah, that's crazy that we don't even see Monte Morris that much. But Monte Morris from the minutes he's got in other games, not this game, he's also been pretty solid. But he came in at a pretty bad time when the Suns were trying to find answers in that horrid first half. So not that much to talk about. Grayson Allen also returned to action for his second game, I believe. He was in the Lakers game last time. Definitely remember that. Grayson Allen, 1 of 8, 0 of 5 from three. He had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, a personal foul, and only two points. this brings up a problem. You know, Grayson Allen is usually, I wouldn't say he's the sixth man of the bench. I'd say more so that has gone to Royce O'Neal, who is the first one off the bench, or maybe Ryan Dunn. I don't know. It's kind of a fight between them, but between the Cheerio Bros, I've started to deem Royce O'Neal and Ryan Dunn as the Cheerio Bros because they're Cheerios. Royce O'Neal with the double O, and Ryan Dunn with his zero. So I call them the Cheerio Bros. But Grayson, we haven't seen much of him because he's missed most of injuries, and I think that's mainly his problem. Every time I see Grayson Allen incorporated into the offense, I just kind of think he's rusty. You know, like Grayson Allen's just not there yet, and that's mainly because what I assume to be, you know, he missed most of the play preseason because of injuries. He's also a father now, so that he's out for personal reasons, and also he had just an injury in general. He only played one game in the preseason, was pretty good. He was all right against the Lakers, and now this is the second game of the regular season, and I personally, I would assume that Grayson Allen is just rusty. From the way he handles the ball and to just like how he kind of operates, he's picking up his kind of effort on the court by stuffing the stat sheets. Like I said, he had 5 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 assists. He's just another nice bench piece. Um, but his shot is the most concerning part about Grayson Allen because he was last year's league leader in 3-point percentage. So for him to go 0 of 5 from 3 this game is kind of concerning. But again, I chalk that up to, injury, missing out playing time. Um, and also the fact that he just bulked up out of nowhere during the offseason. He came in very, very bulky. He's got some meat on his bones now. So naturally, I would assume that affects his shot or force behind the shot. So, uh, kind of a, it's kind of concerning that Grayson Allen isn't there yet, but hopefully he gets there. He just needs to shake off that rust. Okay. Final person, and this is the most interesting guy of the night, Yusuf Nurkic. Now, Yusuf Nurkic in the wider Suns community has a bad rap. Yusuf Nurkic, 23 minutes tonight, a plus 11. He had 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. 3 turnovers and 2 fouls. Okay. I don't know if I want to get into this topic of whether or not Yusuf Nurkic belongs on this team. A lot of people are calling for Yusuf Nurkic's head. And, to a certain extent, I see why they're mad at him. But also to a certain extent, I'm a little more lenient. Um, I believe that Yusuf Nurkic hasn't had the best start to the season because we're only 5 games in. 2 of those games were against Anthony Davis. And if you watch both of those games, you know how terrible Nurk was during those games. Turnover machine, just can't guard Anthony Davis. And to be fair, setting facts straight here, Anthony Davis, he's going to be Anthony Davis. He's been on a tear just to open this season up. Um, so, I mean, it's just a complete mismatch when Nurk tries to guard him. But the other two is where it creates a little more interesting conversation for Nurkic as he had that Mavs game where he freaking dominated, and now two Clippers games where he's been okay in. The first Clippers game I think it went a little more better for Nurkic. You know, the season opener, he just looked more lean. I think the excitement of the season mostly clouded everyone's judgment on Nurk because they're just excited for Suns basketball being back. But now we're 5 games into this, and boy, Nurkic stock has plummeted. It is not a good time to be investing into Nurkic. Let me tell you that. That has been plummeting. His reputation absolutely smeared at this point in the Suns community. You know, I think he's all right. He guarded Davis 2 games, but that still doesn't excuse why Nurkic just sometimes randomly makes boneheaded plays. I'm not defending Nurkic's just dumb plays. He really does some things that makes it hard to defend him. I'm trying, Nurk, but sometimes he just makes a pass, turns it over, and is off frick. Nurk's given an easy ball. All he's got to do is carry it to the rim, and there it goes, turnover, and Clippers score. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the heck was that? Sorry for the inconvenience. Uh, Cross of wires. The ghost of Nurkic. Someone's trying to protect Nurkic's name. They heard me talking crap about him. Okay, but I'm not defending Nurk's boneheaded plays. He does make dumb plays and causes us a turnover for that when we're really trying to not turn over the ball. So I'm kind of iffy on Nurk. The one point I would bring up is let's just wait until those Nuggets matchups. You know, Nurkic really guards Jokic well, so that's good. But I mean, against every other center, he has his rough spots. So I mean, going forward, if I had to throw my 2 cents in, I wouldn't want to be trading Nurk right about now. That's a whole other issue I don't want to get in. We don't have time for if we should trade Nurk or not. But it's whatever. Oh God, not again! Not again! Bro, who's protecting Nurk? They're trying to send everything at me. They're trying to crash the show. What is this? Okay. Suns in a great spot right now. Um, I've pretty much said everything about the Suns at this point that I want to say. So we're going to be closing this now. Although, a couple more few notes real quick. So the Suns' next game um, after tonight will be on Saturday against the Portland Trail Blazers. That one should be fun. If the Suns don't underestimate their enemies, which thankfully they haven't been doing, they come out slow, but they've been able to fight back. So as long as that fighting spirit's still there on Trailblazers during that Trailblazers, I think we're pretty much fine on that one. So that one will be exciting. We're back with the show. The reason we couldn't do these shows is because Kyle recently came over to the Valley. We went to the season opener, which was really fun. and we also attended the Lakers game. Both really good matchups, and I'm so glad we showed up to those. Just overall fun. The ghost is messing up with my equipment here. They're not allowing me to finish this. Also, you could believe me. You could believe me or not, but there's something I'd like to show here. I'm pretty proud of this, okay? Uh so season opener against, or actually I think it was the Lakers preseason ender. No, not again. The light keeps crashing down, man. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this out quick. Uh, season ender, or preseason ender against the Lakers. When we lost that one, I made a prediction for the Suns opening five. As you know, this is the craziest opening five for a Suns game. I mean, an LA sandwich: Clippers, Clippers, Lakers, Mavs, Lakers, Clippers. Just a weird starting five there. I made a prediction of what the Suns' record will be after that five. And well, the 5 games have come and went. Here we are. And I let it be known, let the record show. All right. I wrote this. I have not changed it since I wrote this. Okay. You could take me for my word. You could believe me or not. Okay. But this is what I wrote down. Okay. I predicted Suns 4-1. And guess what? The Suns are 4-1, baby. To be fair, it's a little cheated because I predicted just in general that the Lakers series, these two Lakers games, would be split. I think we split them. But look at the way I wrote this initially. It's a little cheaty because I wrote interchangeable here because I wasn't really sure if this one would be a win or if this one was lost. It, just in general, I knew we'd split the series. Okay? But I wrote it like this, and that is exactly how the Suns have started the season. Magic. That's another spooky, call it a spooky coincidence tonight. Stick that back on. Now, the next thing where I would want to take this is what's the record for the next uh 5 games. I don't know if I really want to do a next 5 games or like maybe 10 games. I I kind of thought about it loosely. I don't remember if I came up with this on the spot like as I did last time. It's been a while. But I guess I am. So, let's just get through this real quick. So, Suns next 10 is against Portland, Philly, Miami, Dallas, Sacramento, Utah, Sacramento, OKC, Minnesota, and Orlando. Okay? Interesting next 10. Okay? Now, I like where the Suns are at, where they're fighting. So I'm gonna say we win Trailblazers, Philadelphia, since they are both down an Embiid and a certain Paul George. Miami hasn't been on a hot start, so I think I'm going to chalk that up as a win. Mavs gets interesting because we did just beat the Mavs. but the Mavs have been pretty good, right? It's interesting. This is kind of like a 50-50 here. Um, you know what? I'm gonna take a bet and say we win that one. Okay. This is all off the spot, by the way. So yeah, I'm just spitballing here. Sacramento, I could see us splitting that. I think we're gonna split that one. Utah should be an absolute win. Holy crap! Utah is what 1 of 5 or 0 of 5. Sorry, they haven't even won, so that should be an absolute win against Utah. So 6-1 currently. OKC, we're definitely losing that one. Okay, so 6-2. Minnesota, they also haven't been start. They haven't been hot. I think we're way better. I mean, I just in general haven't seen much of Minnesota since opening day. But they seem a little shaky. The Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo trade doesn't look to be, you know, the really franchise moving, finals winning move. I think we win that one. And then finally Orlando, and I'm so devastated about this. Okay. Pablo Pablo Banquero has been off on an amazing start to the season. It's weird for a Suns fan to be admitting this, but the main reason I am bringing him up is because he's on my fantasy team, dude. Ah, man. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Pablo Banquero just was reported on today from from ShamWow, that he is injured and will be out indefinitely for a couple weeks. So I so by the time we're facing Orlando, they said like 4 to 6 weeks. We're facing Orlando on the 18th, which is in 3 weeks. So I mean, at that point, it's kind of a disadvantage. So I say we win that one against Orlando, meaning that I am predicting here an 8-2 record for the next 5 games. It really makes you. This just really makes like points out how high I am on the Suns right now. The Suns look really good, and if they continue to be at this high level, 8-2 seems reasonable. Okay, bookmark this. I don't know, clip this. I'll clip this, post it on later if this just absolutely turns around. Okay? You could oh god. You could blame me if everything just goes absolutely bonkers from this point on. 8-2, baby. All right. That would put the Suns at a 12-3 record to be at the season. I called it here, folks. Let's pray for it. Let's hope. Let's hope for it. Okay. Well, that will be it for tonight. I hope you guys have had a lovely Halloween tonight and sleep soundly. The Suns got the win over the LA Clippers, the second overtime, and we thankfully don't have to be in that loud, freaking annoying Inuit dome. We don't have to hear about the wall anymore. And also, the next couple of Clipper games will be held at home. So, thankfully, no more of that annoying thing. One more thing, James Harden, choke artist. Flat and simple. Say it right here. Choke artist. Choked the first game against the Clippers. Choked the second game against us. So, How you like dem apples, Clipper fans? You have to deal with that. Anyway, good night. Enjoy the rest of your night, Suns fans. Sleep well. We'll see you back on Saturday when they face the Portland Trailblazers. Suns up.
Kevin Durant delivers.
Gorgeous move from Bradley Beal.
Personally, I feel like that brother needed help.
Devin Booker with the clutch three.
The lights off doesn't really work here.